Good morning, it's September 2nd, it's a Friday, that means it's Around the Lake Day. Quite a bit cooler than yesterday when I was walking. It's only 10 degrees right now. It was 8 when I first checked the temperature. Going to 24 after being 34 yesterday. But short-lived, it's going to be hot again over the weekend and into next week. I know for the football game, Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Labor Day Classic on Sunday. It's supposed to be quite hot, but I don't have to play, and we sit on the shady side of the field, so it should be all right. My left knee is twinging again, which it did when I was walking up the hill yesterday. Oh well, I'm sure I'll work it out. Had a very productive day yesterday. I got the after I walked yesterday morning, if you check that one out, walking in the prairie out by Saskatchewan, I worked all day and got the page proofs for Shapers of Worlds Volume 3 sent out to the authors. Again, that's the anthology that I kickstarted, featuring authors who were guests during the third year of my Aurora award-winning podcast, The World Shapers. So that's the next step towards publication. Good morning. Ben? Takes a minute for my eyes to register. I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well too. Yeah, so the page proofs have gone out. Get those corrections, and there's not anything stopping me at that point from finishing this thing off. It'll be reaching out to the printer, which is done in 2 stages. There's a printer that does the Kickstarter version and mails all of the books to the backers at Kirk in Vancouver. And there's the arrangements to have it available through Amazon and bookstores and all that stuff. Anyway, still a lot of work to do, but it'll be out in plenty of time for the Saskatchewan Book Awards, which is one thing I'm aiming for. It has to be published by October 31st to be entered in this year's Saskatchewan Book Awards. None of them have ever won anything. There's only one category I can enter in. That's the publishing category. And that tends to go to things with more production values, like, illustrations and stuff like that. But all the same, I'll have lots to enter this year because I've got 2 new books coming out through Shadowpaw Press that will also be eligible. And Star Song, which came out last year, is actually still eligible for the YA category because that's only every 2 years. It alternates with the children's book category. Yeah, lots to do. And I have to keep walking too, which I'm doing right now, heading to the lake. This has become a tradition. Walks must be taken around the lake. This can never be changed. You can see that the days are getting shorter by the light. Much more morning light now than back in the height of summer, or when summer started really. At the solstice, when the sun would have been much, much higher by now. And eventually I'll be walking in the dark around the lake, or just beginning to get light, depending on how quickly I get out of the house. The sun actually feels nice. It's quite chilly in the shade. Through the tunnel, I think I will walk I'll walk the same way I walked last time, just gives the best view of the gardens while they're still beautiful before they frost, which they will do sometime in the next month or so. The geese having words. Some plane has flown over the lake, leaving that long straight trail across the sky. The geese are having a lot to say for some reason. And that bicyclist should have rung a bell. I don't know what all that goose talk is about. Excuse me. It's the Albert Street Bridge. The lake is much calmer than last week. As I recall, it was quite windblown last week. Very calm this morning. Still a bit of breeze, but not enough to really move the flags on the bridge. Here's the dam. Let's see if there's any birds down there. Oh, well. Huh, one of them's posing with its wings out. That's odd. See it down there? It's just sitting there with its wings out. It's like a sculpture. I don't see pelicans this time of year. I don't know what's changed. These geese are saying things too. Well, they are thinking about they'll be thinking about flying south before long, so very bright walking in this direction. I didn't wear my sunglasses. You'd think I'd learn, considering just about every walk I comment on the fact I've forgotten to wear my sunglasses. You'd think on the next walk I would remember. I was wearing them yesterday. That counts for anything. Ooh. It's not just the sun, it's the sun on the water. It pours along here as well. So, what do I have to do today? I need to get my book manager metadata sorted out. Book Manager is a site that bookstores use to order and find books. And it's used by Alpine Book Peddlers, and Alpine Book Peddlers will be my distributor. It's a non-exclusive distributor, so it'll still be available through my usual Ingram and Amazon sources, but Alpine will be more appealing to a lot of independent bookstores who don't like to order from Ingram. That's my hope, anyway. Anyway, I've signed an agreement, but I have to get the metadata in, so I need to get that finished today. I've started the process. It is quite a bit of work and not all that interesting to do, but okay, here we are at the gardens again. Presided over by Walter Scott there, first premier. I'll go up this side today. It's always tempting to use this as the thumbnail, but I've done it several times, so it gets repetitious, I suppose. Pretty though. And I can smell the flowers too. I don't even have to stop to smell the flowers. They're quite strongly smelling flowers along here. I think I'll go through the tennis courts today. Some of the flower beds are particularly fragrant. Oh, and of course there's the Queen. Always good lighting this time of morning on the Legislative Building. This person's slowing down right where I wanted to walk across the... It's like if they were deliberately trying to block my path, they couldn't have done better. This has been all torn up. They laid pipe or something underneath it. I've seen somebody go in that door, which surprised me. I figured it was locked. Maybe they had a key or a pass, although I don't think it's got any sort of electronic thing on it. Maybe it's open. I don't know. I'm not going in there, but I have been in there many times. Oh, in fact, the person behind me who got out of that truck seems to be headed toward that door. Maybe she's the one I saw go in through it on a previous occasion. Come back this way, we can go through the tennis courts. Back side of the Legislative Building here, so to speak. The back side, all one word, as well, I guess. Say goodbye to the Legislative Building. It's not going anywhere. We'll see it again. Through the tennis courts. Where the Bliss Bistro is. Never had anything at the Bliss Bistro. Walk by it all the time. Lakeshore Tennis Club. Fresh, healthy, creative. Oops. That would be here. It looks very nice, but just never anything I would think to stop at. Courts there, courts there. I think that's a tennis lesson. And that's the Lakeshore Tennis Club. And back to the lake. And to do our best not to step in front of traffic. Always a good choice. Here's the water again. So as soon as I get back, I'm going to walk again, but I won't live stream it. I'm going to walk downtown. I have something to mail and I have some pills to pick up. I'll go down and work in a coffee shop this morning. Is my plan, I think. Holodomor Memorial there. Oh, unstable internet connection. I haven't seen that in a while. Hope it hangs in there. Must be atmospheric conditions, because some days it's fine and then some days it's not. But I haven't seen that along here for quite a while. So I apologize for any buffering. You can see a little bit of yellow starting to show up as we go into September here now. More geese flying overhead as they continue to debate whether or not they want to fly south just yet. Here, let's go down here and take a look today. Somewhat different. I don't often come out here. There's an outflow pipe there for aeration purposes, but nothing's coming out of it at the moment. So I think that's what it's for. I won't go on Pine Island today, I don't think, so I'll walk up this way instead, just to vary things a bit. Up into the there's a memorial over here for Catholic sisters, who are very important in the early development of the province. And this will take us by the totem pole up here, which was given to the province to mark the centennial of BC's joining of Confederation. And then was refurbished a few years ago by the son or grandson of the original artist. As you come along this way, you get a nice reveal of it through the trees. There she goes. Kind of in silhouette today, but good look at her. And we will rejoin the main path. Quite warm in the sun already, even though the air temperature is cool. I'm wearing black again. Oh, here, let's take a look at Spruce Island here. Little overlook. Spruce Island again is the undeveloped one, just intended as a bird sanctuary. Downtown is that way. Center of the Arts over there. And you can even see a little bit of the waterfall there if you look right in the middle. The sun's catching it nicely on Pine Island. Because that's Pine Island over there. So the old guys, those paths I often cross, they're always walking in the opposite direction from me. I call them old guys. I don't know how much older than I am. Some of them are. But I'm not officially a senior citizen yet, for most purposes. For some I am, but if you count it at 65, I've still got a couple of years to go. Hopefully I'm still walking when I'm 65 and 70 and 75 and 80 and 85. That's the goal. Come back in 20 years. See how I'm doing. The purple trees we get this time of year.
And it's real. Right. So I'm like.
It's a jogger. It just occurred to me, I don't think I've seen a dog walker yet. And this one went by and I missed him. Like I said, walking in Regina bingo could totally be a thing. Trouble is, everybody would have the same card and everybody would see the same thing, so I guess it wouldn't really work, come to think of it. I could have 20 people all winning at the exact same instant, so maybe that's not such a great idea. Have to have some way to randomize the cards, I guess. And when you got one, it reset, and the next person to claim one got a different card. All with the same elements on them, but in different orders. That might work. Oh, here comes a dog. More than one dog. 3 dogs. 3 dogs? 2 dogs. One big, one smaller. Been over there for a while. There's the Wascana Rehab Center over there. Dog and a jogger. That could be its own separate bingo space. Dog. Jogger without dog. Jogger jogging with dog. 3 possibilities right there. Someone walking multiple dogs would be another possibility. Canada goose. Snowshoe hare. Squirrel. Could easily fill a bingo card with possible squares. But yeah, it'd have to be randomized somehow. It's kind of. Yes. The geese are definitely thinking about flying somewhere. They'll be out feeding in farmers' fields. So in the next little while, if I walk at evening along the creek, which I've done, you'll see big flocks of them winging their way back from the fields where they spent the day, probably to the farmers' annoyance. But there's Pine Island, which I'm not going on to today, downtown, and the ledge over there. Again, not crossing the bridge, but it's picturesque all the same. There's always lots of birds down there. Oh, somebody else just said hello or something. I can't quite see it here. Give me a minute until I find some shade. Pine Island. Bridge there too. In the shade up here I can see whatever that new comment says. Hi, Pindar, and you're welcome for the beautiful sights of Regina. I can't take credit for them, but they are here. I had nothing to do with them. All this is man-made along here, though. I like to point that out occasionally. The lake is man-made. All these trees were planted. This was nothing but prairie with a little creek winding through it when settlers first came here, or when the First Nations people piled their bones near here. Actually, I'm not sure if the bone pile was a First Nations bone pile or if it was the buffalo hunters that piled their bones here. That would have been after the train came through, though. Anyway, that's why the nickname for Regina is Pile of Bones. And I think Wascana even derives from Pile of Bones, if I remember right. So, another dog. This time with two people walking in. There's the next bridge we'll be crossing. It's the Broad Street Bridge over there. Yes, every tree in Regina was planted by someone, except for those that have grown up as the offspring of previously planted trees, but there were no trees here at all. If you went back 150 years, I would think. And no lake either. Just the creek. More joggers.
Hang on, that's 12 minutes in.
So the lake looks different from this angle. The light shines on it from a different direction and gives it a different, less sparkly, more blue look. I wonder if the guy that often plays a flute under the bridge is playing a flute this morning. We'll find out in a minute. Because sometimes hearing up here, I don't hear anything at the moment, so I don't think he's there. Lots of berries on the trees there, or the bushes. Oh no, he is there. I think. I hear him. Here he is. Or she. No, that's just somebody on the phone. I'm sure I hear the flute though. Oh yeah, that's it. That was the flute player. The flautist. Pine Island with the waterfall on it that I mentioned earlier. It's now behind us. We're about the halfway point of the walk. Maybe a little further. I don't know how well this mic that I wear picks up the ambient sound, but hopefully you've been able to hear the geese. Take a little different path up here too, I think, today. Oh, stroller. Stroller would be another bingo option. Stroller with dog would be a rare one, but certainly seen more than once. I've got to look that up to see if there's such a thing as a random bingo card generator. I'd give away an ebook, you see, to whomever could say bingo. You'd have to watch the video and indicate the timestamp at which you saw the items. Totally doable, I'm sure. Question is, would anybody play it? There's the dragon boats all lined up. I've seen people in them, but I haven't seen any advertisements about a dragon boat festival, unless it's already happened, because there was some sort of rowing festival thing going on last week. I didn't really know what it was either. I think we'll go up and walk around the marina building here. We ate on that deck just last week, I guess, with the thunderstorm coming in. So if I go up here, I can go around this side of the building, and that'll be a little different than what I normally do. Make taco takeout. This time of year, you enter the restaurant there and you start outside, and you only go inside if most people don't go inside. We ended up inside because it was a thunderstorm coming and we weren't even under the tent, so come on, you. Come on, Gimbal. Get with the program here. Not particularly scenic back here since it's the back side of the restaurant, but over this little bridge. And you're back on the sidewalk. I don't usually walk up here, so this is a bit new as well. Nope. 2 dogs. Great big one and a much, much smaller one. That little one's about the size of our cat. I know what I can do that's different. I'll take this path on the other side of the creek. On the other side of the road, I mean. Don't know if I could get into the garden if I walk behind it, but let's find out. I think it's probably closed up this time of day. But I keep meaning to come here when I can and go inside. So if I can't go inside, I can at least point the camera at it. It's called the Ladies' Slipper Garden. This is the Wascana Center Authority building. Well, the gate's certainly closed on this side. We can walk around it. Can't see much through the trees and the bushes. This would be the other way in, also closed up. But if we take a look, you can see that it's a very nice garden in there. So yeah, it's very nice in there. I just can't get in there right now. Or else the only way through is through the building. It's possible too. Still walking in the same general direction I always walk in, just on the other side of the road. Because there's the lake through the trees over there. So if I walk down this way, I can go by the Queen building too, which I've never done from this side, so why don't we do that? HMCS Queen, a landlocked ship where the naval cadets hang out, close to the lake. You can see they have some boats, a couple of canoes anyway, sitting out here. So this being the naval building, I guess that's our Navy, Regina Navy right there. So this is run as a ship, so that's why it's HMCS Queen. They've been doing renovations. I think they've replaced all the windows down here in the bottom level, and maybe they're doing it on the top as well. Probably enhancing energy efficiency. You can hear the working in there right now. I don't think I've ever been in the Queen building, maybe once. There's like a naval mast. The white flag is the naval ensign, I believe. And then, of course, the national flag hangs above that. I don't know why the gimbal is tilted to one side again. It should be about there. But there doesn't seem to be any way to make it level out very easily. There you go, Her Majesty's Canadian ship Queen. There you go, HMCS Queen. As I said, Regina's Naval Reserve Division. Okay, this will take us back to our normal path. That's Broad Street there. I don't know why I've never walked along there before. It's a nice change from just following the same old path. So you're the first to experience the excitement of the close-up view of Her Majesty's Canadian ship, Her Majesty's Canadian ship, Queen. Wasn't sure if the C stood for Canadian or capital, but it's Canadian. Capital ships is probably a very old-fashioned term for age of sail. Whenever we lose the Queen on that sad day, it'll be His Majesty's Canadian ship. There'll be a lot of signing having to go when Charles takes the throne. Everything that says Her Majesty will have to say His Majesty. Even if we skipped Charles and went straight to William, still His Majesty's capital ship. Long live the Queen, though. Too much further now, just down the north side of the lake here, back through the tunnel. Another 15 minutes home from here. Didn't really point out Willow Island over there, but we'll get a view of it again when we get to the parking lot where my young adult fantasy series begins. Charge of Excalibur. Another jogger for your bingo card. I think I just put walkers on. Walkers are too common. You could do something like walker listening to music or walker with headphones, perhaps. There's Willow Island. The book begins when the Lady of the Lake from King Arthur shows up in that patch of water right there, down in a watery chamber, down a watery staircase. Tells two local teens that they have to find the scattered shards of Excalibur before Merlin can. He being a computer magnate, sort of like Bill Gates in the modern world. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Available on Amazon or directly from shadowpawpress.com. And eventually I'll get it re-released widely again. It's on my to-do list, along with a million other things. It wouldn't even cost anything to speak of, because I wouldn't need to order any copies of it. I've got tons of the original Kato books, paperbacks. But I need to get it back out, widely available in print. I was keeping it on Amazon solely for a while, but I changed that. See, walker with headphones. Bingo. Morning. Walker with bucket is unlikely something I would put on the bingo card. Taking the shortcuts because I'm anxious to get on to all the work I have to do. Saves me a couple of minutes. Oh, yellow. They should get right down to the water there. And we're back on the water. Well, adjacent to the water. I can't actually walk on water. Or this would be a really cool YouTube channel. Yay, he actually warned me he was coming. Good biker. Good biker. There's the... we missed the fountain on the other side because of the way I went, but one of the two aeration fountains. Keeps oxygen in the water for the fishies and keeps down the weed growth. Water's still pretty green, but not like it used to be before it was deepened. It would have been... Now, see, that one did not warn me she was coming. And I put out my elbow just as she went by. I could have hit her in the face if she'd been too close. In the old days, it was quite overgrown with algae and weeds. You go up that way is where the new pool is being built. It should be open next year by this time. There's the bridge. There's the gazebo. Let's go up by the gazebo. I never go that way either. Maybe it'll give me a new thumbnail for today. There you can see again all the work that's going into the new pool. Oh, they've got diving towers up now, I see. Again with the fountain, again with the fountain. You can smell the fountain, which is another sign that the lake is quite weedy and algae-ish at the moment. But it used to be the whole lake smelled like that all the time in the summer. It's been much better since it was deepened about 10 years ago. 10, 15, almost 20 actually. Yeah, I guess it'll be 20 and I think it was 2003. Might have been 2004. They emptied the whole thing out and dredged it out. There were big earth movers running around on the lake bottom. It was really cool to see. I know I was carrying Alice around. She was very little and she has no memory of it, so it must have been 18, 19, 20 years ago. I think it was 2003. Alright, so we will go around the bend here. I have been driven around the bend. This will take us back to the tunnel under the bridge. Not to be confused with Tunnel in the Sky, which is a classic Robert A. Heinlein juvenile science fiction novel, young adult. They called them juveniles back then. Oh, squirrel, bingo. Two squirrels. Or is that the same squirrel? No. One went across and then another one. I'm sure there were two. Or else I'm seeing double. Maybe he's Schrodinger's squirrel. He only exists in one location when I observe him. Alright. Almost home. And then, as I said, I'm going to walk again, but I won't be live streaming the next part. So I head downtown to do some work away from my chair in the living room, which I get really tired of. Those purple lights left yellow spots in my vision. I suspect they have a very high UV content. And I don't know if they were put there by the city or if it was some graffiti type that wanted to put in purple lights. I don't know. It seems odd. Maybe they used fluorescent paint and they wanted their graffiti over top of the artwork in there, because there's been a number of vandals who have now hit that artwork in there because they're scum. Oh, did I say that out loud? Let me say it again. Because they're scum. For all I know, one of them got up the gumption to put in black light as well. I don't know why they would do that officially, so did I mention that they're scum, the people who would spray graffiti on existing artwork? Because they're scum. Have I made my point? I think so. Angus Boulevard. There's also an Angus Street and an Angus Crescent, because Angus, whoever he was, got his name on everything. And here comes a dog down the sidewalk. I'm going to cross over to the other side anyway, because I don't very often. In fact, I think I'll walk on the boulevard, because I never do that, except there's trees in my way. This is Leopold Crescent. It's my second gazebo of the walk. Bingo! That'd be a rare one, though. Aren't that many of those around. Little free libraries could be one. Never see them around the lake, but on any residential area walk, you're liable to see one. That's a yellow up there, unfortunately. Of course, Davin School ahead of us, where Alice went to school. Unhappy cat. Sounded like facing off with another cat potentially. They are territorial. Males more so than females. And they will defend their territory if they feel it's necessary. Our cat's an indoor cat, so his territory is fairly well defined. And I think he'd just run away if somebody came inside, because we've seen him do that. Had a stray kitten that I brought in to feed once and then sent to the Humane Society. Little tiny thing. He never saw it, but he knew it was there, and he ran upstairs and hid when we had it in the entryway. So, mighty warrior cat. He is not. In fact, yesterday I think he ran away from a fly. I may have misinterpreted that, but that's what it looked like. Okay, that's it. I'll be back at least one day over the weekend.